So you are going to understand about a new strategy of evaluating the limits analytically. For especially it is for the rational functions. Uh, the technique's name is dividing out techniques. So if you have any limit, any question given to you, a rational function is given to you and you are asked to find out the limit of that function and you fail to find out a particular answer. On the contrary, you get, after solving the function, you get 0 over 0. After applying the limits, you get 0 over 0, which is actually known as the indeterminate form. Indeterminate form, which means that it cannot be determined easily without using some of the different technique. So, these kind of the rational functions will be solved by using some different kind of the strategies. Among those, the first strategy name is dividing out technique. So remember, whenever you have a question, limit x approaches to, for example, 1 x squared plus 1 and divided by x plus 3, for example. And now you cannot factor it, you can't do this, and you can't do anything, so you have to apply the limit. So you will write 1 squared plus 1 divided by 1 plus 3. So you will get 2 over 4, that means 1 over 2. Now you get an answer. So if you get a particular answer, that is your answer and you no need to do further work. This is said to be a direct substitution method, which means that when we apply the limit, we get a particular answer. So what if we don't get the answer? So for example, if I have limit x approaches to 1 x squared minus 1 and x minus 1. So if I replace the limit directly right now, so what I am getting in the calculator, if I write directly, I will get error. And if I solve this numerator separately, which gives me 0, and denominator separately 0, so it is said to be the indeterminate form. So whenever I get an indeterminate form, which means either I have a vertical asymptote or I might have a hole or I might have some different kind of the discontinuity, then it cannot be solved algebraically. So I have to apply the limit by using the dividing out technique, which means factor first, eliminate the factors which are common and then apply the limit. And if this limit fails, then go to the rationalizing technique, which means multiply and divide with the conjugate of certain function and then get the answer. So in this video, we are going to study about the dividing out technique. So let's try to see that how much we understood from the previous one. So let's apply the limit. Here there is no x, so we will get the 7. When y is approaching to the 3 from the right side, forget about the right side, any plus or minus on the top. Just replace the limit. So replace the y by the 3. So 12 times 3 is 36. We get the answer. Now 0 from the left side. This kind of the question we will study later on, but over here I will tell you, whenever you will have any absolute value function, you must have the two answers. One from the left side, so write the negative and write the function which is inside the absolute value. And absolute value of x means from the right side, write the plus x. So this kind of the question, if I replace the 0 function on the top and 0 function in the denominator, I will get the math error, which is said to be indeterminate form. So for such kind of the questions, I must use the dividing out technique. What is dividing out technique? That if I have to find out the 0 from the, I guess here it is right side. So if they are saying 0 from the right side, it means where I don't have the absolute value, I write it as it is. Where I have the absolute value, right side means without the modulus sign, I have to write the x. Now do not apply the limit until you solve it. So if you cancel it, you will get 1 because 2 divided by 2 is 1, x divided by x is 1. So I will get 1. Now I apply the limit. I don't have any x, so my answer is 1. Now over here, w is approaching to 5. Okay, let's try it directly. So 5 here, okay, and absolute value of 5 here. So 5 and 5, okay, so 5 divided by 5 is 1. So here you will get the 1. No need to open it, no need to cancel, just cancel and apply the limit and you get the answer. So first always try to solve it and then you have to apply the limit. Okay, over here just replace 1 from the left side. So 1 minus 1 over 1 minus and 1 from the left side, just put the 1. So 1 over 1 minus 1 is 0. Now remember, a number divided by 0, it could give me either a positive infinity answer or a negative infinity answer. So let's try to understand over here. 1 from the left side. 1 from the left side, I have 1 over 0. I don't know whether my answer is plus infinity or minus infinity. So remember, 1 from the left side, 1 from the left side. If here 1, so on the left side it will be 0.9, right? So if I write here in place of this x rather than 1, I write here 0.9. So I will get 0.1. It means in the end I will have a positive answer, which means my answer will be positive infinity. This is how I check the answers of my functions. When limit fails to exist and I cannot solve any question algebraically, so I use the numerical method to get my final answer. Okay, so here is the question. So whenever any question comes, the ideal situation is that you find the domain. For the domain of a rational function, always focus in the denominator. So to find the domain, make the equation equals to 0. Why? Because in the denominator you must not have the 0. So domain, it is the x value which will tells you where the function is undefined. So we are going to check what would be the domain. Bring the negative 2 here, so you will get x equal to 2, which means that the domain is all real numbers except 2, because it will x should not be equal to 2. So x equal to 2, because if I put here 2, the denominator will become 0, so that makes my function undefined. Okay, now let's try to replace this 2 over the x. Apply the limit. So I will get 2 square minus 4 divided by 2 minus 2. Answer is 0 over 0. So when I get the 0 over 0, it is indeterminate form. So in that case, it is a rational function. I will apply the dividing out technique. Dividing out technique means that try to factor it if possible. So you can see this is power 2. So I know the formula that if I have a square minus b square, answer is a plus b and a minus b. How do I get the b? By taking the square root. So square root of a radical of square root of a square is a. That's why one time I write the a here, a here. And similarly, square root of b square is b. So I wrote one time the here plus b and one time I wrote negative b. So what are the factors of x square minus 4? It is x plus 2 and x minus 2. And this x minus 2 stay as it is. So x minus 2 cancel. I will be left with limit x approaches to 2, x plus 2. Now apply the limit, replace x by 2. So 2 plus 2, answer is 4. Now those who don't know how to factor it mentally, so for them I have a suggestion to use the calculators. If you have the calculator, scientific calculator, go to the mode 5-3. Mode 5 and 3. You will have the window like this. This is, you will have x square, here x and here a number. So here you have to write the a and coefficient with the x, coefficient with the x square, and here on the last part is a constant number. So look at this one. Here x square minus 4 was written. So number before the x square is 1. So you write here 1. Then enter or equal sign. Then there is no x. So just write the 0. Then the last number is negative 4. You will get the two answer, x equals to positive 2, x equals to negative 2. But these are the solution. You have to make the factor. So if this is the plus 2, as a factor you write x minus 2. If the answer is minus 2, then you have to write a factor x plus 2. And then carry on. So here let's suppose here. Let's try to factor it using the calculator. Go to the mode 5-3 and factor it. So what you have to write in the calculator, the number with the x square, that is 1, equal sign, number with the x, that is again 1, number with the this which is alone, that is negative 6. You will make it enter. You will get the two answer. One answer is negative 2 and the second answer is, one answer is negative 3 and the second answer is positive 2. So when you factor, you have to write here the x and here x. And now take the opposite signs. So it is plus 2, you have to write the negative 2. If it is negative 3, you have to write the positive 3. Because you are bringing it over here. That's why you are changing the sign. In the denominator, it's a linear function. So keep this linear function as it is. Now cancel out the common terms, that is x plus 3 and x plus 3. What is left? Limit x approaches to negative 3, x minus 2. Now apply the limit, replace x by negative 3 and this negative 2 here. So the answer is negative 5. Okay, now let's try over here. So the factor of x square minus 9 is x plus 3 and x minus 3. So let's try the first one. Limit x approaches to negative 3. So I will have x minus 3 divided by x plus 3 and x minus 3. Now x minus 3 cancel. What is left? 1 over, and now apply the limit directly. That is negative 3 plus 3. And now negative 3 plus 3 is 0. And I told you any number divided by 0 Either it is positive infinity or it is negative infinity, and if the limit from the both side, then it is does not exist. So let's check what they are asking us. So this first thing is limit from the both side. So no need to solve anything. Don't write plus infinity. Don't write minus infinity. Directly write does not exist. What you will do, look, the working for the negative 3 from the right side and from the left side is stay as it is. Okay, it won't change. And in the end, you will get this answer also. Now you have to choose whether, because the one-sided limit cannot be does not exist. One-sided limit either positive infinity or negative infinity. One-sided limit either positive infinity or negative infinity. But both side limit, if 0 is in the denominator, always does not exist. So let's try this part. Negative 3 from the left side. Look at this. Negative 3 from the left side. From the left side, it's negative 3.001. And on the right side is negative 2.999. So what you have to do on this part, when you reach till here, after solving this part, you have to write, let's try what you will do. So till here you will do the same thing. After that, it's written limit x approaches to negative 3. Let's check this one from the right side. So after solving this one, I have here 1, let's see here, limit x approaches to negative 3 from the right side, 1 divided by x plus 3. Now you have to replace the x. But since on writing the negative 3 we will get the 0, so I only need to find out whether it is plus infinity or negative infinity. I will apply another part. What I am going to do, in place of x, I will write negative 3.001. This I only do whenever I have an infinity answer. So I will get a negative answer. So I write here negative infinity as my answer. Now from the right hand side, it's minus 2.999, right? So I will do till here as it is. Let's do this one. Okay, this one I am erasing. Also I am erasing this one and I am replacing this. So I am writing here minus 2.999. I will get a positive answer. So my answer for one-sided limit is positive infinity. And if you graph it, you can check it also. From the left side, it is going down, which means negative infinity. From the left side, right side, it is going up, which means it is positive infinity. Okay, so how can we solve this question? Look at this. I said whenever we have a square minus b square, we take the square root. We take the square root. One time we write a with the plus b and one time we write a minus b. This is manual working. So let's see here. And this helps us in doing a lot of things because not everything can be done by calculator. This is the linear function, so I wrote denominator as it is. Now on the top I saw a square minus b square formula. So what is the square root of x power 4? It's x square. And what is the square root of 16? It's 4. So one time I write x square plus 4 and one time I write x square minus 4. But can you see that again x square minus 4 can be solved one more time by factorization. So square root of x square is x and square root of 4 is 2. So due to that reason, one time I write x plus 2 and one time x minus 2. Cancel minus 2 and minus 2. Now replace the 2 by x. It means apply limit. So I will have 2 square plus 4 and 2 plus 2, which means 4, and here 8, 4 8s are 24. 4 8s are 32, not 24. Next question. Now look at this. Minus 3 plus h. Okay, can I write it as, just look at the bracket first. Outside the bracket there is a power 2. So I have a formula, a minus b whole square equals to a square minus 2ab plus b square. So look at this. I can write this minus 3 plus h as h minus 3. So wherever I have the a, I will replace by the h. So in place of a, I will write h. In place of this a, I will write h. The rest I will write as it is. It means here I have the power 2, then minus 2, okay, and here b square, I didn't do anything. Now the b is 3, right? So my b is this thing, 3. So in place of this, here I write the 3 and here I write the 3. And power 2 stay as it is. So what I did, I just replaced my a and b. Try to solve it. It is h square minus 2 times 3 is 6h plus 3 square means 9. Okay, now let's try to solve. Limit h approaches to 0. So 2 as it is. This I already opened, so this I will write here, h square minus 6h plus 9. Then minus 18 outside divided by h. Open the bracket using the distributive property. I will get limit h approaches to 0. So what I will get, 2h square minus 2 times 6 is 12h plus 2 times 9 is 18, and this minus 18 is outside. And in the denominator h. Now plus 18 and minus 18 cancel out. So limit h approaches to 0. Can I take the common factor here? Look, here it has 2h and here it has 1h. So I can take the h as a common factor. What is left inside? Inside 2 left and 1h left. Minus this h is outside, so only left 12. And this denominator h stay. H and h cancel out. Now apply the limit. So replace the h by the 0. So answer is negative 12. So here let's see that first of all let's check over here the numerator. I am writing here numerator to make your life more easier. So whenever we have such question, what do? We make the denominators alike. How? Multiply here by 3, down 3 and up also 3. Here multiply by this factor, that is 3 plus x, and up also 3 plus x. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to look at this, right? This x I am writing here and I am solving this one. How? We write the denominator one time, that is 3 and 3 plus x. And we open the upper part. So 3 times 1 is 3. Now this is what? This is minus 1. So open the bracket with negative 1. So negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. Negative 1 times x is negative x. Now look here, 3 minus 3 is cancel out. Remember, if you have a over b whole divided by c, so it is always b equals to a over b c. So this is a, This part is A, this part is B, and this part is C. So what you have to do, first write it properly. So A over BC, on the A minus x is left. Over B and C just write together, means write 3 bracket 3 plus x bracket x, this x. Now why I did this? Because this x and this x cancel. So what is left on the top? Nothing. It means this negative, and nothing means 1 divided by. So wherever I have the x, I replace by the 0. So I write here 3 bracket 3 plus 0. If I write in the calculator, I will get negative 1 over 9. Okay, let's try to solve this question. Again, what we have to do? We have to factor it. How to factor it? Write in the calculator 1, 6 and 5. So you will get negative 5, negative 1. You will have negative 5, negative 1. So what do we get? We write the x and we write x. We take the opposite sign. That means positive 5 and positive 1. Now denominator is also a quadratic equation. Write in the calculator mod 5 3, 1, negative 3 and negative 4. So you will again get negative 4, positive 1. So x equals to 4, x equals to negative 1. So you change the sign. What do you change the sign? X minus 4 and x plus 1. Now let's check. Can we cancel something? Yes, x plus 1 cancel. What is left? We have to write it down one more time. Now apply the limit. Wherever we have the x, we replace by negative 1. So negative 1 plus 5, negative 1 minus 4. So I will get 4 over negative 5. So negative 4 over 5 is my answer. Let's see how can we solve and how can we factor this kind of the questions. So if you will go to the mode 5.3, then you have to write in the calculator 2, positive 1, negative 1. Then you will get the two values, that is x equals to positive half and x equals to negative 1. Now remember how to factor those questions. Okay, so we will write here limit x approaches to 1 and denominator stay as it is. Now here we have x plus half, so we will write the negative half. X equals to negative 1, so you have to write x positive 1. But remember that in normally we never ever write the factors in the form of the fraction. So how do we write this 2? We bring it here. So it becomes 2x minus 1. So this x plus 1 and this x plus 1 cancel out. You will be left with limit x approaches to 1, 2x minus 1. Apply the limit. So 2 times 1 minus 1, answer is 1. So what I meant to tell you that let's suppose I have a factor x minus 2 over 3. So never ever write the factor in this form. What you have to do? Bring the 3 here. So it becomes 3x and minus 2. So this is how is the exact way to write any factor when the answer comes in the form of fraction. Let's factor this one. So on the top you have the square function, that means the quadratic function. So if you are doing with the help of the calculator, so write in the calculator 3 minus 1 and minus 2. If you will write this thing, you will get the two answers, that is x equals to 1 and you will get x equals to negative 2 over 3. So when we write in the brackets, we write x, write the opposite sign, that is negative 1. We have to bring the 3 here. So we will write the 3x, change the sign, minus changes into positive and then 2. Now for the second one, again if you will see that this is the quadratic function, which means that whenever there is a quadratic function, you have to factor it. So write in the calculator 2, 1 and negative 3. So you will get x equals to 1 and x equals to negative 3 over 2. So x equals to 1, it means you are going to write it as x minus 1 and this 2 will come over here. So you will write 2x, change the sign, so minus changes into positive 3. Now x and x cancel, apply the limit. So 3 times 1 plus 2 and 2 times 1 plus 3. So it will give you the answer 1 because 5 over 5 gives you 1. Next question, it's so simple. X here on the top, x is approaching to 6 from the left side. So whenever there is, you have to worry only with the one-sided limit if and only if in the denominator comes 0. Then there is another strategy you have to solve. Otherwise, don't worry, just solve. So I have limit x approaches to 6 from the left side. Write down x minus 6 on the top and factor x square minus 36 always give you x plus 6 and x minus 6. Now x minus 6 cancel and on the top nothing left, nothing means 1. And then apply the limit, replace x by the 6, so you will get 6 plus 6 which is 1 over 12. So here on the top, limit x approaches to 4 from the left side. Now I wrote here 3 minus x and in the denominator I factor it. So if I factor it 1 negative 2 and negative 8 if I write, after the factor I will get x minus 4 and x plus 2. You can use the calculator to get the answer. Now nothing is cancelling out. So what is the next thing? If nothing is cancelling out, it means I have to apply the limit. So 3 minus 4, I get negative 1 over 4 minus 4 and then 4 plus 2. So 4 minus 4 is 0. 0 times 6 gives me 0. So in the denominator, I get 0. And now I have seen that this is the one-sided limit. Okay, this is one-sided limit. So if it is one-sided limit, so my answer either will be negative infinity or positive infinity. Now how to decide negative or positive infinity? By using a number from the left side of the 4. So 4, right? On the left side, if I make the table on this side, I have, for example, 3.9. So what I will do, in the calculator, I don't need to show the work, only in the calculator, in place of x, every single x, I am going to write the 3.9. 3.9 I am going to write. Okay, after that what you have to do? You only have to check the sign. Is it a positive or negative? Because the answer is infinity. That's for sure. So now if the sign is positive, you will write negative positive infinity. If the sign is negative, then you will get the negative infinity. So your sign is positive. So the answer is positive infinity. trying to understand how to factor the functions which have the cube. So remember, we already have studied this formula in the previous years, that if I have a cube plus b cube, so it is equals to a plus b, a square minus ab plus b square. Now how to find the a and how to find the b? So if I take the cubic root of a, is this one first thing, it will give me a. If I take the cubic root of b cube, it will gives me the b. And only I have to replace those a and b in the formula to get the answer. So let's come to the point. It is x cube plus 8. Let's see here. If it is x cube plus 8. So what is my a cube? If I take the cubic root of x cube, I will get this 3 cancel with this cubic root. So I will get x. And if I take the cubic root of 8, so write it in the calculator, you will get the 2. What does it mean? It means 2 times 2 times 2 gives me 8. So now this is my A and this is my B. What I am going to do, wherever I have the A, I will write the X. So I am writing here X, I am writing it here X, and I am writing here X. So if I have some square, I keep the square as it is. Okay, I am not changing anything. Now after that what I have the b, which is equals to 2. So let's try to change the b. So I have the b which is here 2. I have the b which is here 2. Okay, so what do I get? And here also I have a b which is 2. So let's try to write it in a proper way in the form of limits. So limit x approaches to negative 2. Now denominator is a linear function, so I don't change anything. So what is on the top? On the top I have x plus 2. In the second bracket I have x square minus x2. So x2 is not appropriate to write, so I write here 2x. Because always we write the number first, coefficient first, and then the variable. Plus 2 square. 2 square means actually what? Actually 2 square means 4. Okay, why I did all this thing? Because I wanted to cancel x plus 2 with x plus 2. Now I replace the limit or apply the limit by negative 2. So negative 2 whole square minus 2, replace x by negative 2 plus 4. So I will get 4 plus 4 plus 4, that is 12. Let's try out one more question, and if you do not understand this question, please repeat the video to check how I explained it. One more time. Now this is x cube minus 27. So because there is a minus sign here, I am going to use the a cube minus b cube formula, which is what? A minus b and a square plus ab plus b square. So what I told you? I told you take the cubic root of first thing. That means cubic root of what is the first thing here? That is x cube. Now cube and cubic root cancel. Answer is x. So in place of x, a you have to replace by the x. Okay, what is the second thing? You have to take the cubic root of this number, that is 27. Yani 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, or write it directly in the calculator, but make sure that here cube you write. So the answer is 3. Now what we have to do? I told you that simply replace the a by x and b by 3. So let's try here. Limit x approaches to 3. Denominator is a linear function, write as it is. Okay. So A is what? X. So this is X, this is X, and this is also X. And replace by B by 3. So where is 3? So here it is 3, here it is 3, and here it is 3. So now write it down. What we have? We have x minus 3 in the first bracket, and here is the second bracket, that is x square plus, rather than x3 we will write the coefficient and then the variable, plus 3 square. And what is 3 square means? 3 square means 9. Why we did this? To cancel out these two things. Now apply limit. So replace x by 3. 3 square plus 3 times 3 plus 9. So 9 plus 9 plus 9 gives us what? 9 plus 9, 18. 18 plus 9 is 27. Let's try out one more. X cube minus 64. So what we have to do? A cube minus B cube formula, which is A minus B, A square plus AB plus B square. Okay. What is A? Cubic root of x cube. It is x. And cubic root of 64 is 4. Replace A by x, which means this is x, this is x, and this is x. And replace the B by the 4. So this is going to be 4. This is going to be 4. And this is going to be 4. So let's try what we will get. Limit x approaches to 4. Denominator as it is, and numerator on the top is x minus 4, x square plus 4x plus 60. X minus 4 cancel, replace, apply the limit, so it will be 4 square plus 4 times 4 plus 60. So 4 square is 16 plus 16 plus 16, which gives us 32, 42 and 48. This is how we solve the cube this is how we factor the cube functions. So let's quickly determine the signs. Okay, so if I write here 8, so I will get 1 over 8 minus 8. Since it is a one-sided limit, so my answer could be either positive infinity or negative infinity. Now this is from the right side. So after the 8 comes what? On the right side, it's 8.1. So replace x by 8.1 minus 8. You will get a positive answer. So if you get a positive answer, so the answer is positive infinity. Let's do this one. So here we have replace, okay, first, but here if you see, first of all, solve it. So x minus 5 over, if you factor x plus 5 and x minus 5, you will get it. You will cancel out. Now, when you finish this part, so replace. So on the top, nothing means 1 over 5 plus 5. So answer is 1 over 10. So if you get a number, then very good, you are on the safe side. But if you don't get a number, you get a 0 in the denominator, then for one-sided limit, always be the answer. If in the denominator is 0, so either the answer is positive or negative infinity.